With the over-supported amount of Agumon and Greymon support in the Digimon card game, it almost feels natural to do videos based solely on that alone. And in my case, we are going to see a focus on videos specifically for the card game on Agumon and Greymon. Now, obviously, I am a Agumon Greymon fan. Ever since I was a kid, I used to watch the original anime when it aired on television, which seems kind of like ancient now, but Agumon was orange, my favorite color, and I couldn't pass that up. And as always, I want you guys just to remember to join the Ed Army. It would help out. We are on the race to 100 subs. We're almost there, 20 short. So be the first 100 in here. So also, obviously, why are we doing this for Greymon specifically? He's the one and only, the GOAT of, I would argue, Digimon. However, it doesn't just mean that we're going to be focusing on it alone because I love it. It also means I'm going to be focusing on it because there's a lot of people who enjoy the deck, whether they're casual fans of Digimon or people who want to play it competitively. And as I'm going to switch over to my video version, you're about to see a quick discussion on BT14 Agumon, whether it's expensive or not and you need to play it. Let's talk about some of the detriments and benefits of it, and I hope you guys do appreciate it. So, switching over. Guys, we're going to be obviously going over why BT14 Agumon's really good, but some of the issues I've been finding with it. Now, I actually think this card's absolutely nuts. Really good. So if you heard the other me, you probably talked a little bit about why I want to make a video for this, just because I want to try some new content, because I've fallen back in love with Digimon. Mostly, I'm just going to be building Agumon and Greymon decks, because I think it's kind of the best thing for me. I've actually played more than just Agumon and Greymon before. Actually, this is my first time solidly approaching the deck, just because everything was not really as cheap as it was. So I was always playing other decks. So I played Imperial. I played Original D Brigade. I played before we actually had BT9 Alphamon, so that was fun. And yeah, I played a few other decks, not like fully just because we had the cards for it. But yeah, here we are, and I want to talk about BT14 Agumon because personally, this card's absolutely nuts, but there's a few things I want to talk about it and explaining why, if you don't play it, you could kind of get away with it, but I'm going to explain why it's really hard to replace it. So, first and foremost, what does he do? First, this Agumon can generically Digivolve on top of any of the Koromons for a cost of 0, so really good. And it Digivolves on top of Red DGX for 0 cost, so already really good because if you decide to play it in a deck without a Koromon egg, you can still use it. And it costs 0 on any Koromon's really good. We also have its a main effect, which is kind of the key, but obviously I'm going to go over the inheritable quick because it's important for this video, but it explains a few other things. So it says your turn while you have this Digimon that's Greymon or Omnimon in its name, you get 2000 DP. And standard, it's basically like the Greymon effect on BT5, but also the Agumon, which is the promo, so it has that 2k buff. But more importantly is its starter main phase effect. So if you have a Tamer with Tai Kamiya in its name, this Digimon may Digivolve into Greymon in your hand without paying the cost. So already this card's pretty busted only off of its main phase effect. If it had just that and no other additional things except maybe the Digicost 0 on a level 2 red, and the inheritable was like 1k DP, this card would still be played. And the biggest reason why this card would be played is because that free Evo is just so much. I think a lot of people that are playing with the deck realize that this card's really powerful because it just gives you that extension you need. It's almost like having an X evolution with like Agumon X and Greymon X, where you get a free Evo because you're not paying any memory on top. But even better than that, you can go into a Greymon that may have an effect to play Tai, or with BT5s you can gain a memory actually, which is pretty nuts. So you'd basically get a free memory back from the turn you played your Tamer, and you get a free Evo up. So, those are all really good things there. And this basically just lets you, with a 3-cost Tamer, go quickly into your stack if you have the perfect setup with like Greymon X, which is the, the black-red one, and going up into Metal Greymon and all the way to War Greymon. So this card already by itself can get you there. Now, what are some of the things I found with this card that I do not like? Now, here's the thing. This card is absolutely great. But one of the problems I think it starts with is that besides its effect, it doesn't really have enough going for it. And what I mean is, okay, yes, the 2k buff is great, And it does mean that in raising, this isn't bad to just Digivolve a Greymon on top of. But my problem with this Agumon specifically is that hard playing it is not what you want to do. And why I say you don't want to do that is because if you hard play it, yes, you may be able to get the payoff if you have enough memory. But hard playing it, it just doesn't generate any advantage. And that's where I have a problem with it, is that although it does give you an absolutely insane effect, it just doesn't give you any advantage when you hard play it. So already it kind of, sucks there. But, you can alleviate it with like Agumon X and obviously BT12 Agumon, which are the ones you want to hard drop. But with this card, the other problem I'm seeing is that you do need established tamer setup to really get your payoff for it. Otherwise, the thing that I like about this card is that this is actually a balanced card. And the reason why is that if you don't have the tie and you just use it, it's basically just a promo Agumon at that point, where the only thing that matters, you're getting the 2K beat buff, and an Omnimon can utilize it because unlike the 2K promo Agumon that only buffed up Greymons. So that's where this one kind of like steps up. But that's also why I like it, because it's balanced. But yeah, when it comes to the detractors, the only thing I don't like about this is you need setup. So with the testing I've been finding out, I really like this card. It's just I don't like hard playing it at all. So that's kind of one of the things. And the biggest reason I want to make this video is because this deck is now currently expensive, because I made a video about it being relatively budget. And that was when the set had come out. Agumon was actually pretty cheap. It was like $2-3. So I was thinking, okay, if it stays at this point, which I was kind of hoping it would, because I thought maybe people would keep opening. And I was like, maybe at this low price at the start, people just had a ton of it. So maybe they were just opening a lot of it. That wasn't the case. So I wanted to make a video to kind of alleviate the issue if you can't get your hands on these right away, because I don't think it's fair for everybody to drop a ton of money on it. And for me, I got them when they were kind of cheap, like in the middle when they were going up, because I was like, oh, I better pick these up. And by no means, guys, I'm like a market person, so I didn't expect that to happen. It was just more of I was realizing that they were going up, and I said, well, I better get them now. And I was right, but at the same time, I feel bad because I made that video, and I didn't expect it. So pretty much that's it for the video, guys. My thing is, I will have more explanation when I do my first deck profile for a Greymon deck, explaining the substitutes you can use for this. So pretty much it's all I've got today, guys. Thank you very much. I know it's a little bit different than my normal content, but because of what's been going on, I've just been so, thrown out of the loop because I've had a lot of stuff to do that I normally wouldn't be able to do, and taking care of stuff. So pretty much it's more than normal, if you're wondering that, because usually I'm able to make videos, and it was a lot. So pretty much thank you, guys. And as always, I'm Brad from the Ed Army signing off. And for all of you out there, to sign on.